Wake up, Jacob. It's me, IP, coming back to you with another article there. I was looking at one a little earlier and it was talking about how New Zealand pretty much eliminated COVID-19. All but eliminated, I should say. But I thought what was interesting was their measures on how they got it done. How they did it in relation to other countries who didn't do so good. They didn't do so good. Nah, get that out of here. Anyway, they didn't do. Other countries didn't do so good, namely, America, UK, things like that. Didn't handle it right. When we saw it coming, it just kind of like we just went along and like, whoa, do do, just I just handled it poorly. The plan was just kind of poorly executed, or was it? But I'm not going to get all into that, guys. But if you are rocking with the tribe, like, share, subscribe. So, wanted to go ahead and let's see here, get into this article, and then I'm gonna let you guys go because we all got things to do. Some people got to work out, and some people got to start planting. Some people got to start building. I got to do a couple of things as well. So I'm gonna get in, get out, just let you guys know what is going on right now. So it says how New Zealand eliminated COVID-19 after weeks of lockdown. I just think there's a couple of things in there that we can learn and benefit from. So it says after weeks of lockdown, New Zealand has achieved its ambitious goal of eliminating the coronavirus, but the country isn't celebrating yet. Over the past few days, newly diagnosed infections have been in the single digits. And on Monday, New Zealand reported just one new case. Quote, that does give us confidence that we've achieved our goal of elimination, which never meant zero, but it does mean we know where our cases are coming from. Ashley Bloomfield, the New Zealand Director General of Health, said on Monday, adding, says Monday, adding that there was only one case since April 1st where authorities were still investigating the source of infection. Monday was the first day of almost 5 weeks of strict level 4 lockdown measures, which New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern described as the strictest constraints placed on New Zealand in modern history. On Tuesday, the country eased into a less restrictive lockdown with 400,000 more New Zealanders heading back to work and 75% of the country's economy operating, according to Ardern. The new level 3 restrictions also mean that New Zealanders will be able to hold small funerals and buy takeaways. Okay, so they're just going by, they're being very, very cautious. They're going by things in a very methodic way, and you guys will see that as the article unfolds. It says New England has reported 19 deaths and 1,472 confirmed and probable coronavirus cases, according to Johns Hopkins University. Of those, 1,214 of 82% of confirmed and probable cases have recovered, the Ministry of Health said Tuesday. But while New Zealand's success in eliminating the virus might seem like a cause for celebration, Ardern is still urging vigilance. That's how you don't. This attitude helps them not worry so much about the rebound that could affect, because we get a lot of states and stuff opening up pretty soon. Some have already start opening up and letting people out in waves, and we'll see what happens. It says, quote, we are not out of the woods, she said at a press conference Tuesday. Level 3 is a recovery room of sorts to assess if the incredible work that New Zealanders have done has worked. Okay, when it comes to that, what worked, New Zealand has some advantages in tackling the virus. It had the benefit of time. New Zealand confirmed its first case of coronavirus on February 28, well over a month after the United States confirmed its first case. It's a relatively remote island nation, and relatively few flights transit through New Zealand. It's almost centrally governed, meaning it doesn't have states like the US or its neighbor Australia. But the real key to New Zealand's success appears to be the approach that could be applied anywhere. Here's the 3 things that they were talking about. They're saying moving swiftly, testing widely, and relying heavily on good science. Now, I'm just going to get the part about the moving swiftly real quick. I found this pretty interesting. It says many countries, New Zealand had models that showed that a potential coronavirus outbreak could be devastating if no action was taken. Unlike some other countries, New Zealand responded relatively fast. When Arden announced on March 14 that anyone entering the country would need to self-isolate for 2 weeks, it was among the toughest border restrictions in the world at the time. The country had 6 cases. This was at the time where it only had 6 cases. When, on March 19, Arden banned foreigners from entering the country, there were 28 confirmed cases. See, New Zealand was not playing with you guys. They weren't playing with y'all, okay? They weren't playing. And on March 23rd, when Arden announced that the country was going into lockdown, there was 102 confirmed cases and no deaths. Quote, decisive action, going hard and going early helped to stamp out the worst of virus, Arden in a statement Tuesday. There's a few reasons New Zealand took strong action. As Arden said in a press conference on March 14, New Zealand is a key departure route to Pacific Islands, and the country has a responsibility to protect the Pacific neighbors. But the swift actions were also for the benefit of New Zealanders. Quote, here in New Zealand, we don't have a lot of intensive care beds compared to some other countries. That's why Arden acted really fast, Auckland University microbiologist Susie Wiles said early this month. Shalom, shalom. While New Zealand took prompt action, it has been slow to roll back prevention measures, even as the country cases appear to trend downward. Arden opted to extend the most restrictive level 4 lockdown measures by 5 days. And despite that, many New Zealanders support the restrictions. In a Colmar Brunton survey last week, 87% said they approve of the way the government is responding to the pandemic. Okay, so they approve. Most people over there, they're like, hey, you know, I like what they're doing. Our numbers down in these new cases and things like that. So again, they acted very quickly compared to other countries and stuff. Some countries, we saw it coming. We were standing in the middle of the road and saw the freaking train, the bus coming, and we just stood there and got hit with it, you know. When we were looking at, if some of you guys were looking at the maps and tracking it and where it was going and things like that, when we saw it coming, and then it started hitting New York, and then it started hitting California, you know, all the states where international flights come in, we start looking at those, and then all of a sudden, boom, full-fledged people going home, and just, oh my goodness. So got hit pretty hard with that, guys. So anyway, swift action, testing widely. I could read that section there, but I'm not going to go through all that. Let's see here. There's a whole lot here. And then relying on good science. So it's really not that, you know, it's not that long. I can give you guys just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. How about the section on... Now, this article is on CNN, and I will try to put it in the comment section, description box below, so you guys can finish reading it. I'll try to get that doing. I can't do it right now because we're live, but I will soon. Testing widely, to talk about that a little bit. It says New Zealand has ramped up its testing to the point that it is now carried out up to 8,000 tests per day. Arden says Tuesday. To date, New Zealand has carried out 126,000 tests. For comparison, the United Kingdom, a country with 13 times more people than New Zealand, has completed 719,000. Okay, so you got New Zealand 126,000 and some change, and the United Kingdom 719,000 and some change, and the difference in population is 13 times different, right? But the real sign that New Zealand's testing is working is its test positivity rate, the proportion of tests coming back positive. Dr. Mike Ryan, executive director of WHO's Health Emergency Program, the World Health Organization, said recently that a good benchmark is to have at least 10 negative tests for every one positive case confirmed. That means if a state or country carries out testing and comes back with positive cases of around 9% or under, then it's likely that it is testing well. It's doing a pretty good job. The last little bit here, it says New Zealand testing positivity rate is around 1%, suggesting that there isn't widespread community transmission that's slipping under the radar. I mean, they're doing pretty darn good. They're doing at 1%, right? 1%. They test 100 people, one person is probably a problem. That's really good. On Monday, I already noted that in other countries around the world, each person infected with coronavirus affected around 2.5 people. New Zealand's lockdown that has dropped to zero point 0.4, less than half a person infected. Okay, less than half. Not that many. Not that many people, man. They're doing really good, guys. They are. New Zealand's doing pretty good. But I wanted to read that one because people say, well, what does that got to do with me? We're in America. We're not in New Zealand. I was just saying, if you look at what they're doing, how they got it done, right? They had some strict lockdown measures, right? They had some really strict lockdown measures, and they were not playing around. International flights, they were like, you ain't coming. Nope, not coming in here. You shall not pass, right? So they wouldn't let people in. And in those who they did let in, they say, you are in lockdown for 14 days at least. We got to check you out. I don't know you like that. So it was real interesting how they handled it, and that their numbers are going down. I like it. Their numbers are going way down. So that's an awesome thing. Oh, by the way, guys, can you, if you can hear me, put a 100%, 100 in the chat if you don't mind, just so I know that you hear me. But I am going to let you guys go. I just found it very interesting. I went to grocery store the other day, Walmart. Had to pick something up, and I try to go as little as possible, but sometimes you need something. So I'm going to the Walmart, and it's a little old lady, whatever, was kind of standing in or sitting in one spot or whatever, and I'm staying like 8-9 feet away, but I'm just kind of standing there, let her finish doing what she's doing. I'll wait. I'm patient. It's cool. I'll let her get whatever it is she wants off her shelf or whatever. She's sitting there. She has her mask on, right? And she wants to say something to me. And she has her mask on. And I guess she wanted me to hear her better. So she takes her mask off. And as soon as she takes it off, she starts coughing. She's like, yeah, I was looking for, I'm looking at her like, what are you doing? You supposed to leave that cough inside the mask. What are you doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? I thought I was being pranked or something. It's crazy. She took the mask off and started coughing. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I had my mask on, gloves on. I was like 9-10 feet away and all that. I was like, yeah, I'm out of here, man. What the heck is going on? God, I'm like, what do we know what's going on right now? You're going to take your mask off to cough. What's the point of the mask? Man, she was old. I didn't want no problems. She was an old Gentile lady. I didn't want any issues. I walked away. I couldn't do that. That was strange. That was strange. So anyway, guys, I was just looking at how New Zealand was handling it, and they got their numbers under wraps for real. Now, of course, that means, they're a lot more strict, they're a lot more strict. And I know with America suffering and the economy and stuff like that, they are really trying to turn the switch back on to this economy, letting people get out there and work, make some money, buy things, stimulate this economy and stuff like that. We know how it goes, America, if America economy coughs, the other countries, catch a cold. So it's rough out there, guys. It is rough. So anyway, again, like, how they did it, I don't know, how America's handling it or whatever, but, they're going to act swiftly, test widely, and rely on some good science, right? So it's just a lesson to be learned out there, guys. But let me know what you guys think. Hey, before I go, do me a huge favor, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I don't want you to miss any of these videos or live streams. I'm trying to get up more videos instead of having to go live all the time, but I want to put something out every day, and I don't want you guys to miss anything. What I'm going to do is kind of break up some of the videos. I'll put them in playlists and stuff. I got a lot of work to do. Put them in playlists. Whether it be talking about homesteading or whether it be talking about, finance or money, any type of money matter or whatever, because money affects us. And then any type of Bible topics. That's what that's really what I want to talk about. homesteading, the Hebrews news, like, you know, this pandemic or money matters or whatever, or Bible topics. You know, that's why you see me talk about those type of things. Getting some things that we can use, right? That we can use to better our lives. I want to bring some value to you guys. At least that's what I hope. Hope to inspire, hope to inform, hope to educate. So, with that, I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Israelite Prepper.